So I'm writing a story on the defensive ends. It looked like your second-string defensive ends this weekend were Ollie Vigil and Ronnie Charles. What do you guys do to try and prepare two guys like that who clearly aren't cut out for, haven't been training for that beyond the start of the week?
Well, they just practice there. That's where they practice now. Try to make the game plan as simple as we can when they're in the game. You got to know that they haven't done a lot of it, but Ronnie Charles has been a D lineman, so he's heard all the coaching points, so it's not like it's new to him. Mm-hmm. Ollie is new to the position, but Ollie's very strong. He's got very heavy hands, is what the profession calls, so he can hold up against tackles and stuff. We thought that was the best move for us.
Mm-hmm. When you watched them back on film, how do you think they did?
Oh, they did really well for 1 week of getting ready to go, and they did well, and now obviously they'll progress this week. Now that they've done it, now they're going to practice as defensive ends.
Mm-hmm. Looking at Kadir and Amir, obviously they're suspended indefinitely. How disappointing is that for young guys?
Well, it always hurts their development because they're not these past. They were playing a lot.
Yeah.
They're not playing now, so it would have helped them a lot.
Mm-hmm. Is there any kind of gauge to how long they'll be out?
You have to ask Coach Schaefer on that one.
Mm-hmm. Looking at Jake Pickard, it was the thought at this point you just got to redshirt him.
We're not going to. Yeah, we weren't burning his red shirt 3 games ago. Mm-hmm. That's not right to the kid.
Right. From a production standpoint, he would be your third defensive end now, correct?
Who?
Jake.
No, I think Ronnie's more physically developed, and obviously Ollie's more physically developed. They're older. Those both are seniors.
Okay, yeah.
Jake's still young. He's still a young kid. He's not strong enough yet. He will be at some point.
Is that the biggest? Well, obviously Kadir and Amir were ahead of those guys. So for Jake, it's this offseason's going to be about getting stronger.
Oh yes, definitely. For all 3 of those, any rookies, they're going to get a lot stronger, a lot bigger this offseason.
But Kadir and Amir clearly had fastest that outweighed that to get them into the.
To get playing, yeah. They were strong. They were more strong at this point of their lives, but Jake will just have to work hard this offseason.
Mm-hmm. Looking at Luke, do you expect him back this year?
You have to ask Coach Schaefer on that one.
Okay. Maybe more big picture when you look at the defensive end position moving forward. Is that going to be an emphasis in the offseason, addressing that and bringing in more guys?
Well, yeah, you always have to have the right numbers. We have the 3 rookies, and then Ron Thompson, and then who else do we have? It's low numbers. Every year, we just got to get some more players.
Speaking of Ron, have you talked to him at all about the potential of him going to the NFL?
No, I never talked to the guys during the season about that stuff. Don't put that in their mentality. Just play the next game. That's our mentality anyways. Just play the next game. We'll deal with all that after the offseason.
Mm-hmm. Even for the sake of trying to know how many guys you want to go recruit?
That'll have to be Coach Schaefer will have to have that discussion with him. That always comes from the top when you're talking about those things that are life-changing things and how many numbers we're going to have. Mm-hmm. You got to leave that to the head coach.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything different you're trying at defensive end this week to help the numbers?
No, just try to get those 2 guys more accustomed to playing defensive end. That's all we can do. We don't have. There's no free agents.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were thinking of moving a tackle. Or I have no idea. I have no idea.
No, we have no free agents, so we have to play with what we got.
Why did you decide on those 2? When we need to find 2 guys, how did you land on Charles and Vigil?
And Charles is very strong, one of the strongest players we have. Mm-hmm. He hadn't been playing tackle a lot, but there's other guys who, instead of moving one of those guys out and having them less trained at what they have been doing, thought it'd be easier to train him. And Ollie is strong. We stand him up. He's almost like an outside backer in the 3-4 now. Yeah. But he's a strong person, and we say, okay, he's got the strength to be able to hold a point against offensive tackles.
Mm-hmm. What did both those guys say when you told them, hey, you're our second-string defensive end?
Oh, they loved it. They're playing. Yeah. They're playing a lot more than they had before, so they love it. They're all fired up.
I guess you can't really say too much when Zach Mahoney's going out there and he was playing in junior college last year, right?
Yeah, they just want to play. Hey, wherever you put me on the field, coach, I just want to play.
Mm-hmm. Switching gears, one of the guys, I get like weekly Pro Football Focus recaps and grades, and I know nothing's ever exact with that kind of stuff. But one of the guys who seems to be doing consistently lower is Hodge. How do you assess his kind of play this year? What does he need to work on still?
Who's giving this? Who's grading him?
Pro Football Focus.
I don't know.
They work for 20 NFL teams. They give him stats every week. But
he plays hard for us. He's done a great job for us. I don't know. How do they know what our scheme is and what we're asking him to do? They may think he's supposed to fit in this gap, but really our scheme he fits in this. So he's been playing. He's hard. He's a tough guy. He hasn't been doing anything negative. He's been playing really well.
Really, it seems. And I'm just some of the things I see is shedding blocks. That's something you want to keep working on with him.
No, he's actually pretty thick on blocks. He's a very strong kid, but he is shorter. So you can get engulfed sometimes by some big guys, but he's the hardest hitter of our linebackers. He can thump you. But sometimes you do get engulfed by those bigger offensive linemen. But he's done a great job for us. So I don't know where those. No, I don't know. I'd never heard of those rankings and all that stuff.
That's why I always like to look at the numbers and then try and get the qualitative to go with it. That's all I got.
I may have missed this, Coach, but what are your first impressions of NC State's offense?
They have a quarterback that people are free on. They hit him, they can't get him down. And he makes a lot of plays that way. Like, you get somebody to him, and they can't get him down. And I'm talking about Florida State and Clemson. They're bouncing off him. So he's a very strong guy that you have to get multiple guys there. You expect that the play's going to extend longer than you think it is. You're going to think, oh, God, we got him, and then he gets out. He's very strong. Everybody else is an athlete. The backs are athletes. The wide receivers are athletes. The tight ends are athletes. They got a very athletic team. But the quarterback seems to be the one who gets it all going.
What stood out to you about Cordell Hudson's game this season?
Cordell Hudson, the most thing was this past game. You know, he got beat the first play, and it's a big thing. And will a young guy like that be able to come? And he came back and battled the whole game. It was like it didn't happen. You never know with young guys what they're going to do. Are they going to go into a shell? He didn't. He just kept playing. So that was huge positive in terms of, okay, he got beat. Let's come back and play.
Is there anything about that he did after that impressed you particularly?
Oh yeah, he was challenging all those balls. They were still throwing at him, and he was right on top of all those guys. You know, he got the one in the end zone, but that was just, you know, they're going to make some plays too. They're great athletes.
What has he improved on the most, would you say?
He's improved since from this season or last year to this year?
This season.
Okay, this season. He's improved in terms of now he's playing more, so he's getting more experience. If you go back to last year to this year, he's gained 15 or 20 pounds or something, so he was really thin. So now he's developing his body. Now this next offseason, he'll develop even more and get stronger and get faster.
Why Cordell versus some of the other guys you have at corner? Getting more time and stuff like that.
Cordell and Juwan Dallas both have performed well. They're young guys that they have no fear. It's more of them playing well than anybody else not playing well. When a player's playing well, you play him, and when they're not playing well, you don't give them as many reps. They've been playing well.